Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us for the Fen Talks podcast. On today's episode, we're featuring one of our firm associates, Sabrina Bigelow, and she happens to work within our real estate practice group. And today we're talking about the future of Fennemore, summer associates and beyond. I think it's really cool to hear these stories about individuals that have worked their way from a summer associate into, a full force, great experience associate within our firm. And I know, not everybody is really sure what direction they see their professional career going. So I'm curious just to hear, what inspired you to go to law school in the first place?
So actually, my story of how I decided to go to law school is not that interesting. I went to the University of Arizona for undergrad, where I got a degree in business administration with an emphasis in accounting. I realized pretty early on that accounting didn't meet all of my strengths. I really like writing. I really like some of the persuasiveness of writing, and you don't get to do a lot of that with accounting. So I thought that law school would be the best next step, and I'm so glad that I went.
So, Fennemore, we do have a lot of U of A alum. We also have some ASU alum out there. So I know there is that rivalry even within our office, but we love all of them nonetheless. So you went to U of A for law school, and while you were in law school, you were exploring the option of summer associate programs. So would you mind just sharing your experience and what that looked like for you?
Yeah, so I was looking for another number of different things in a firm. I was thinking long-term. To me, being local in Phoenix was really important. I was born and raised here, and my family is here. So obviously, Fennemore has very deep roots. It also has a great reputation for having really sophisticated attorneys, which for me early on in your career, it's really important for me to learn from the best. And I think, there's a number of firms in the Valley that kind of check all those boxes that I'm talking about. So what really drew me to Fennemore and what keeps me at Fennemore is the people. I love the people here. The associates are a really tight-knit group, and I really enjoy all the partners I work with as well.
I mean, I'm a little biased too, but I do think the people at Fennemore is what makes our firm such a special place to work. I've worked this is my first role within the legal space. I mean, I've worked in other industries, and my goodness, Fennemore certainly is a special place. So curious, when you went through that summer associate program, what were some of your biggest takeaways from that experience that might be helpful for other, individuals that are in law school or looking to get a summer associate opportunity?
So I was really trying to think long-term, what my life would look like, what my career would look like after the summer program. So the summer program is only, 8 weeks of your life. So what I tried to really take away from it was I going to like the work that I was doing? And was I going to like the people that I was working with? And so I kind of, as much as the 8-week program they're interviewing you, I think it's really important to interview them and try to figure out if you think it's a good fit, because that's the only way that's going to work from both ends.
Yeah, I think that's also really important. So I know that those were some of the key things that you were looking for personally. Do you have any other specific advice for those currently in law school?
I think that goes both ways. So even if you're kind of what I was saying about looking long term, use law school. It's only 3 years, right? So use it as an opportunity to figure out what you want your legal career to look like long term. So take classes that you're not sure if you'd enjoy, and, get to know all your classmates too, because they're going to be your support system through law school. And they're also going to end up being, sources of referrals and references in your career.
Agreed. Networking is key to our future success. That's for sure. You just never know where those relationships will take you. So just in your personal opinion, are there any types of personalities or characteristic traits or anything that you think individuals that would be successful at Fennemore tend to have or tend to behave like, or where they come from? Is there anything that you think, wow, this really defines somebody that would be really set up for success at our firm?
I think any individual who is driven and who wants to learn will thrive at Fennemore. Fennemore has really great training and really great mentorship. So anyone who is willing to put in that time and effort, I think will kill it at Fennemore.
Awesome. Well, and I love the fact that we have such a great team environment. And you mentioned, being really close to some of the other associates within the firm. Would you mind just sharing a little bit more about, that experience for you and how that's helped you to grow as a professional as well?
Yeah, so I mentioned that we have a really tight-knit group of associates. I would say we get together as an associate group at least once a month, if not more. And I actually have supper club with some of the associates every Wednesday. So we trade off whose house is going to host dinner, and we get together every Wednesday and have dinner.
And who is the best cook? Just curious, out of all the associates.
I'll tell you, it's not me.
So when you do host, do you have a favorite dish that you like to cook?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Oh, that's a crowd favorite.
Yeah, it's a crowd pleaser and it's easy. You can't really mess it up.
So for those individuals that may not be overly familiar with what life as an associate within a law firm looks like, would you mind just kind of helping to paint the picture of what your average work week looks like?
Yeah, so every week is a little bit different. As you mentioned in the beginning, I'm in the real estate practice group. So my work focuses primarily on assisting home builders and developers with the purchase, sale, and lease of their commercial properties. So we do everything from, the letter of intent to closing of the deal. We help them with everything that comes up in between. My work week will consist of drafting, a lot of phone calls with clients or the counsel on the other side of the deal. Some due diligence comes up if we're in a purchase agreement and we're representing the buyer. Everything is different and everything is very fast-paced and quick.
Absolutely. So hopefully some of our friends, some people went to law school, other people went down the road of, going into commercial real estate or construction. So if you're one of those individuals, make sure you link up with Sabrina. She's a great resource here in the business community. So, one other thing you had mentioned was, having great resources, some great leaders to look up to within the firm. We also have mentoring within our office, but, oftentimes we can even find mentors that don't necessarily work within our firm. We could find them out there in the business community. So Sabrina, I know you have mentors yourself, not saying that you have to call out any names, but I would love to hear what is just some of the best advice that you ever received from a mentor.
I think the best advice that I've ever received, and this has helped me pretty much every day, is that nothing is personal. So when you're going through, a dispute with the other side on the deal, or, a client's frustrated, nothing's personal, and take everything lightly, let it brush off your shoulders, do the best you can.
And I think that applies to a lot of us in a lot of different industries. So some great advice. I appreciate you sharing that with our audience. So as we look to wrap up today's conversation, we've talked a little bit more about, what it's like to make that decision of going to law school, what it's like to be a summer associate, what it's like, what the work week even looks like once you do become an associate. And we know Sabrina's on the path of becoming a firm director. And so we're really excited for her, and her future looks really bright within our firm. So Sabrina, as we look to wrap up today's conversation, do you have anything else that you'd like to leave our audience with?
I don't think I have anything else, but this was really fun.
Well, appreciate you taking the time and letting us spotlight you a little bit more. And hopefully today's conversation helps to inspire the future generation of lawyers, hopefully within our business community, but throughout the nation. So Sabrina, thanks so much for being here.